Die studies are an important technique in numismatics. They take advantage of the handmade nature of the tools employed to make coins in the Lydian tradition. In Lydia, the moneyers initially drove the blank coin into a die using a large punch. The negative impression on the die was impressed on the coin by a hammer blow, and soon 2 dies were used for both the obverse and the reverse. Those negative designs on the die had to be engraved by hand, individually for each die, and because of the mechanical stresses, lots of dies had to be made. It wasn't until the 16th century that mints were able to start mechanically reproducing dies, and not until much later that such reproduction was perfected. As a result of this, it is possible to establish if 2 pre-modern coins were made using the same tool, what is called die identity. That basic feature underpins the whole subfield of die studies, which is primarily practiced in relation to what are called die struck or hammered coinages, though similar concepts and techniques exist for punchmark and cast coins, the other 2 widely used pre-modern processes, and there is applicability to modern machining. Die studies originated in the late 19th century, the first recognisably modern example being prepared by Sylvester Sage Crosby, and since the mid-20th century they have become a central component in the theoretical tools numismatists employ. Despite that, there is no standard textbook, no single theoretical account of the methodology. In the absence of such a standard text, I have over the years given a lot of talks about die studies, and since 2020 I have been preparing talks on particular topics which are available online. This YouTube playlist collates more than 4 hours of those lectures in a single place. It is not comprehensive, but it offers both discussions of specific die studies, and it begins with a lecture I gave routinely at the British Museum's short-lived numismatics summer school, which is very much an introduction to the subject. The playlist has a very rough ordering. It begins with that lecture, then the topical talks are roughly arranged, starting with those concerned with making a die corpus, then those on meta-die analysis, inter-die and intra-die analysis, and finally related topics such as archaeology or literary evidence for how mints worked. And YouTube's platform lets me arrange these things like chapters within a book. And within most videos there are markings so you can jump to particular sections. It's not quite a standard textbook, but it is as close as anyone currently offers.